How am I gonna sit? Like this, I think. Guys, look at my new microphone contraption. So you can hear Lai better. It's a toothbrush and my microphone's attached to the end of it.
Yeah. Hi guys.
Is that better? You don't have to
Yeah.
speak so loud?
Yeah.
So,
Much better.
as you can see from the title of this video, it's about the worst hospital experience I've probably ever had in my life. I don't know about Lai. What was it like for you, the hospital experience?
Yeah, the nightmare.
So,
The nightmare.
story time, let's do it. I will just tell you kind of, because I don't remember parts of it, guys. So basically what happened was we was over in Quezon City where we were staying, and I wasn't feeling too good and wanted to go to the clinic for a checkup. Like, upon arrival at this like clinic, it was more of a family hospital, right?
Yeah. It's just a small family hospital, you know, so.
So when I arrived there, they like took my blood pressure, and my blood pressure, like I was starting to feel a bit dizzy and stuff like that, and my blood pressure like really dropped, and I suppose I nearly passed out
Yeah,
pretty much.
Almost, yeah, because you look really pale that time.
And that's when I kind of don't remember the rest of the stuff that happened. So what happened after that? Like,
And then they checked your blood pressure. And then they told me it suddenly dropped. So they have to let you rest on the bed,
yeah.
for a while, and then they give you the medication.
Okay, so they like hooked me up, I think, to an IV drip.
Yeah,
It
the
seemed
IV
like when I
drip.
woke up,
Yeah.
right? And they were putting medication in my hand, I guess, right? So that was all fine. Like, when I come around, I kind of thought the place was a bit dirty, right?
Yeah, it's a bit old and it's a bit not really, you know, presentable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what happened was basically like I started to be more stabilized.
Yeah, you felt okay the first few hours, right?
Yeah, after I was feeling more stable, like I was having kind of chest pains in kind of the left side, middle of the chest, and they wanted to do a ECG test.
ECG test.
Well, this is when the funny story begins, right? They pulled out this ECG test
Machine.
machine. What did?
The old way.
And it was like, I've never seen a machine like it in a hospital. And I was just like, what is this? It looked like before Soviet Union times, for example. And then they hooked me up to it. I was just like, fine, I'm going to have to go along with what they're saying. And then it did not work.
Yeah, because they ran out of paper for the machine, for the result. You know, it's like they ran out of paper, so they're kind of like, oh, hold on, we have to do it again later.
So basically, they ran out the paper on the ECG test, and I had to wait like about another hour until this paper arrived. And then I did the ECG test, and they said the results will not come back because they have to send them to a cardiologist. The results, we cannot get them till the morning. But if you're feeling okay, you can go home. And I wasn't feeling like 100%, but the place, like, it was right on the side of the main road. It was really loud. You could hear like trucks like coming past the window where I was staying. And I said to Lai, like, we literally stay a walk away from the place. So I was like, it's better we just go home.
Yeah.
And
It's just nearby anyway, so.
yeah. And then when we got home, your phone started ringing.
Yeah, they called me saying about the result, but it's not yet the final result.
Initial reading, right?
Yeah, it's just the reading of the cardiologist. So the doctor told us to come back there, and told us that, like, they can cater that kind of result, you know, because the result was about ischemia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
what she said to you, right?
Yeah, the reading was like, oh, Tom has ischemia.
So they literally told Lai this on the phone, and then I think Lai panicked a bit, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, we have to go. So I was like, what? And she said, they've got some findings on your test. So, like, we went back there, and the same thing again. They put, again, another needle in me, But this time, it was like I was kind of conscious to what was going on. And the guy that did it, the nurse, whatever that did it, the blood just went everywhere. And Lai was actually out getting water, because this is another funny part of the story. The hospital didn't even have water. So Lai went to a sorry store to buy me some water. And like, this guy put the needle in my hand, you know, guys, where they put it in the hospital, in the vein. And then it just started leaking. It was literally going all down my legs, all down my arms, dripping onto my feet. And then I was just like, I was kind of like, what's going on? And he wasn't even wearing gloves, which was the worst. And then Lai come back in the room. And what was your reaction when you come back in?
Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Because I saw blood all over your sleepers as well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what happened? And I was like, oh, just blood scattered all over. I was like, yeah, I can see. But what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and they trying to wipe all the blood from
away.
your sleepers as well, all over your arms. You know, it was crazy.
And it was kind of a crazy situation because the nurse could kind of speak English, but she was not really like willing to explain to me what was happening. And Lai was panicking at this time, and she was just shouting at Lai.
Yeah, she's explaining everything to me, but I also want her to explain everything to you so that you can understand as well, like directly explaining everything to you, because I don't really know about ischemia.
Yeah.
But she just told me that it's about a clogged heart.
Yeah. So of course then Lai's panicking, because like anyone would. And I was trying to tell Lai, just calm down, because I don't want to start to panic too, you know.
Yeah.
And then she was like, when I was telling Lai to calm down, the nurse like, why are you telling her to stop panicking? Are you not scared? And I said, scared about what? She said, because your heart could be clogged. Or your heart's clogged or something like that. And I was just like, what? And I was like, but is that the final result? And she's like, they're not like sure, isn't it? They're like, well, no, it's not the final result, but you have to wait for the cardiologist tomorrow. You have to stay here overnight.
Yeah, so I asked her, like, what time will she arrive? And she was just, oh, I cannot really give you a time. But what if, like, you know, you're already feeling the pain again?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we have this, the form. She have the paper where it's written, like, what they have to do to you, you know.
And what would you say, like, after that, like, more that happened? Because it was just like, it was crazy, guys, to be honest, when you're in that moment and experiencing
exactly.
it.
And even me, I'm panicking as well, because I don't really understand what's happening. And so when I tell the doctor to explain it directly to you, so that she can really say everything, you know.
And what did she do?
She was like, oh, because she's a foreigner.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, do you think we'll adjust to him?
Yeah.
And then I tried to tell her, like, oh, can you explain it directly to him? She was like, she turned out to you. And then explain everything to you in Tagalog.
Yeah. And I was just looking at
she seems really mad as well.
She was mad. And I was just looking at the doctor like, oh, and then Lai said to me, like, when the doctors kind of went away from me, like, oh, we have to leave here. We have to go to another hospital. We have to get away from here. And then so I was like thinking, I said to Lai, you think it's a good idea to leave? And she was like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. So like, we tried to just relax and stay there for a bit. But then like, what kind of made me realize they really don't know what they're doing is the nurse come back and said they have to put me on oxygen in case any clogging of the arteries and stuff. And when they switched
to
on
to pump the air on your heart.
to pump the air on my heart, she said, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they put oxygen on you.
And then when like they turned on the oxygen tank, it did not work also.
Yeah.
And then I just looked at Lion and like shook my head as if to say, this is like, is this a joke, or is this like, can this place even be registered, you know?
Exactly.
And then I think like the nurse come to take my blood pressure, and this is what like did it for us really, wasn't it? She just kind of was lay on the bed next to me, because by this time, guys, it was already like 3 a.m. maybe. And she like come and took my blood pressure, this nurse. and she couldn't really speak English too much too, but she just went like this. Lai was already kind of dozing off asleep, and she just told me like, "Oh, it's so low," in this manner, and I was like, "What?" So I like woke Lai up and was like, Lai, what's the nurse saying? And she spoke to you in Tagalog then.
Yeah, she was telling me like, oh mom, his blood pressure is really low. I was like, what's the blood pressure? And she was like, it's really low. So what's the blood pressure? I was kind of like that. And she was like, mom, still low. The first thing she said, it was like 129. I think I'm not really confident about her reading the blood pressure because I don't think she really knows.
Yeah.
And then I asked her like, what's the blood pressure? She was like, oh, it's 100/60. And she was telling me like, oh, it's really low, mom. I was like, so what can they do about it, you know?
Yeah.
So I was at ease at first because those nurses on the morning shift kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Compared to this night
Shift,
no,
yeah.
night shift.
We just had a series of like bad events like that. I mean, you guys can write in the comments like if you've ever been to such a place, but I'm gonna insert some clips. They're not very long, but you'll kind of get a look of how the hospital looked. It looked like bloody a prison hospital or something, to be honest.
But the thing is that we just stayed there because you were about to pass out.
Yeah. So all you guys that are gonna comment, why you didn't go to a good hospital? I was literally going to this clinic. Like it's not really a clinic. It's called it's a small family hospital where we were, and I literally like passed out there. That's why we ended up staying there. One other thing that while I was lying in the bed and I was on this oxygen and stuff, Lai was sitting on the chair opposite me, which you will see in the clip.
Yeah,
and what did you see run across the room?
I was so worried because I had this we just ordered like the grab food, right, the goto, and I was just putting it on the chair, and so while taking the food, I saw this little rat coming into the door.
Yeah.
And then it runs under the bed, so it's kind of like, oh my god, there's a little rat. But good thing we left.
Guys, what a place. Lai asked her for recommendations because she was like, oh, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Lai told me like at 3 a.m. she's like, I'm gonna book a grab. You have to go to like Makati Medical, which is, for those who don't know, one of the best hospitals here in Manila. So I just said to Lai like, yeah, I agree, like this has just been too like crazy. And for me, guys, what like was weird was like, okay, I'm having chest pain and like they're telling me I've got a problem with the heart, and they never even put me on a heart monitor.
Exactly, because they don't have the heart monitor, and that's why when you felt the pain again, because it keeps coming back, right?
Yeah.
That's why I was so worried because they don't really know what to do as well. I don't think they know what to do. I mean, I cannot really trust them. So, like when you felt the pain again, that's the time that I have to decide that we should live here because they don't really know. They just want to give you paracetamol.
Yeah.
For the painkiller. It's a painkiller, and then when I asked the doctor like, oh, he's really feeling the pain again, and the doctor was like, don't panic, because it's just like it's just like a flower starting to bloom. The clog on his heart. I was kind of like, so you think it's like it's, oh my god, it was crazy. So it's kind of like, oh, we're gonna leave. We're gonna transfer to a different hospital. And then she was telling me like, oh, you should go in this hospital. I was like, oh no, I booked the grab already when I talked to her.
Yeah.
And then she got mad. She was like, you can just do that. She was like, you can just do that. We have procedures here that you have to sign. And I was kind of like, because you felt the pain, right?
Yeah.
On your chest, and that's kind of like, oh yeah, what's the thing that we have to do so we can just leave?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, you have to sign this paper, you have to sign this, and then just fill out, and then you can go.
You go in against what we're saying, pretty much. And because at that time I was feeling pain a lot as well, and Lai asked them, "Can you just call an ambulance for us to go there?"
Exactly.
And they told her like, "Oh no, they're probably sleeping already." They were like, it was like she was really trying to keep us there.
Yeah.
And then like, by the way, for all this that you've just heard about, this went on for like 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
All this kind of story like about waiting for them and stuff. So in the end, in total for that bill, it ended up costing us like 12,000 peso in total for the 2 visits. So I'll put that up on the screen in dollars, and basically we paid 12,000 peso for just my blood to be all over the floor.
Yeah.
And the story does get funnier, guys. So we hopped in the Grab and we went to Makati Medical, which is known as the best hospital in the Philippines. But I'm going to have to wait to finish the story for part 2 of this video about my best hospital experience in the Philippines. But the one we had previous was like, it just felt like I was in a bad movie.
Yeah. And they're trying to make us stay, you know? Like, she was telling me, don't panic.
Yeah.
Like that. And I was kind of like,
Don't panic, but your heart's clogged. They was
Yeah,
basically
and
saying that. It was really crazy, really crazy. And then like, I think at one point I did wake up in the night. I needed to like go to the toilet, which I shouldn't have really been walking alone, but Lai accompanied me. I had to take off all the drip and everything alone. Lai had to go to the toilet with me and like hold the drip up. And when we went there, every single nurse was just asleep in a
yeah,
chair.
they're all sleeping.
They were all just sleeping, and like I was like, Lai was even saying they're not even monitoring like you or monitoring someone else was in there just like violently vomiting, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for that crazy story. You guys please do let us know what you think about it. For me, it still like kind of shocks me in a way, like with the whole no gloves and the test. You'll find out what the test reading said in the next video. For me, they didn't have like half of the equipment, but for me that's fine as well, because it can just be like a general clinic.
Yeah.
But like, don't advise us to stay there like when they know it could be something worse. Just say like you have to go to a bigger hospital and
Yeah.
like try and accommodate us. But they were like, I cannot speak Filipino, but I could tell they were getting like frustrated with you. I could tell, you know.
And when I told her like, you know, can you really explain it to him? She was like, I'm just a general doctor here. I cannot really explain everything. Plus you're a foreigner, so I cannot really adjust. Because she cannot really
That's fine.
explain
Like I don't mind
everything.
if they cannot speak English, but it's
Yeah.
just like,
But at least try to explain everything. Because even me, I don't really understand what, like the
she's just throwing medical terms.
the medical terms.
Yeah.
Compared to like when
We went to Makati
when
Med.
we went to Makati Med, I was so at ease because they can really directly explain everything to you.
Yes.
You know.
So what we'll do, we'll finish this video here. Worst hospital experience ever. Never want to experience stuff like that again. It also cost 12,000 peso, which was a bit of a kick in the balls for basically we got nothing accomplished there in that many hours. So see you for part 2 about the Makati medical experience.